Alright, welcome to the shop. You like my apron? I wanted to save up till I could get a nice, thick, heavy leather apron that would hold up forever, but I got tired of getting holes in my shirt, so I went and bought this $20 one at the big box store. Alright, today we're going to talk about hammers and life, because they go together. We're going to start off on the left over here. This is an old Stanley, made in USA, claw hammer. Check it out. This is the very first hammer that I ever did any blacksmithing with here. I did some somewhere else with somebody else's hammer at somebody else's shop, but this is the very first hammer that was mine that I did any blacksmithing with. And this is the hammer that I actually want to talk the most about. We'll get back to this one later. This is a ball peen hammer. Doesn't need much explanation. Got this hammer in the same bucket this one is in with a bunch of my grandpa's old stuff. This is the first hammer I purchased for blacksmithing. The head on this one's really small and it's not very heavy. I'm a big guy. I got a power hammer right here. I needed a heavier hammer. This thing was awesome. Rounded this off a little bit because when I got it this was square. Rounded these edges just a little bit so when I hit it, when I miss-hit, because I did that quite a lot, still do actually, it didn't leave a huge gash, it just left a little dent. Still use this one quite a lot. It's a 3-pound hammer. I got it at like Tractor Supply or something like that. This I got in a bucket when I got my grandpa's anvil over here. This one's not my grandpa's anvil. But when my grandpa's anvil came over, this came in a bucket with it. Obviously, face has been softened on this. I haven't used it very much. There's lots of things that would be good for using for it. If I was taking this and wanted to line it up, this would be a great hammer to do that with, because this face is soft. This is a hammer that a buddy of mine got me at a blacksmithing conference thing in Ohio. He was there, I saw a hammer that another one of my friends brought over and I really liked it, and this was the closest one he could find to it. This is a great hammer. It's a little lighter than this one. I've never weighed it, so I don't know how much it actually weighs, but it's really nice and it works really well. And now, onto the hammer that I use the most right now. This is just a drilling hammer. Cut at the same place I got this one. This face, I did the same thing and just rounded the edges just a little bit so it didn't leave huge gashes when I hit it wrong. And this face, I rounded off a little bit so it's more like a rounding hammer. Because I wanted to make a rounding hammer, but I didn't want to just go out and make one having never used one before. I saw videos of people using them and saw instructions on how to use them, and it just made so much sense with the way the physics work and the amount of force you're putting and the surface area and the angles, all that, it just made sense to me. So I went out and got this hammer and spent half a day grinding this, because it's a hard hammer, it's been hardened, and you grind it and you can't get it too hot, because if you get it too hot then it's not going to be hard anymore. So I had to keep grinding and then dipping and then grinding and dipping, and it took me forever to get it where I wanted, especially because I have a horrible belt grinder. But this is the hammer that I go to most often now, and I love that rounding face. I plan on making an actual rounding hammer, but that's not happening yet. And then, when you need just a little more oomph, I got this thing. This was also my grandpa's, I'm pretty sure. It was at least my dad's. And we think it was my grandpa's because my dad remembers Grandpa telling him to go get the short and heavy. This was the short and heavy. The handle broke here, but it was actually cut off here. This didn't break here. The handle broke sometime, I don't know when, but this part was actually cut off So it was a short, heavy hammer. When you need something like this, this is amazing. And then I have just a couple basic sledgehammers. Little sledge, big sledge. So that's pretty much all the hammers I use for blacksmithing. Now I want to go back to that first hammer again. This is not a hammer that you would expect a blacksmith to be using. It looks a little more like a hammer that a blacksmith would be using than your typical modern claw hammer, but that's just because it's old. When I was starting out, I didn't have this awesome forge table. You don't need a huge forge table. All you need to start blacksmithing is a hole in the ground, a hair dryer, some charcoal to dump in the hole, a hammer. Any old claw hammer will work just fine. Piece of steel to work, and an anvil to work on. Now, in my opinion, the anvil is actually the hardest thing to get. But it's not really all that hard. I saw a YouTube video the other day, and I don't remember who it was. I'll leave a link in the description. But he took a stump and secured a sledgehammer head to the stump, and that was his anvil. And it worked great. So don't say you can't. Don't say you don't have the right tools. Don't say you don't have the time or the money. If it's something you want to do, you'll make the time, you'll make the money, you'll find the tools, or in my case, you'll make the tools. Go define your legacy.
I forgot about the baby!